Looks like an average load of logs, right? Come look what I got snuck in the middle here. Camera's not gonna do it justice. That's 42 inches. Let's get it unloaded. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So yeah, this is a load of pine in the front, oak in the back, mostly average logs, except for that one you just saw. So this has been sitting here about 2 days. I brought it home at the end of the day 2 days ago, and I just haven't had time to do anything with it. I'm gonna get it off the truck, get it sorted. We're gonna take a look at that big monster. So this is what we're working with. White oak, 36 inches on this side, 42 on the big end. And she's quite a chunk. It's about 7 foot long. I wish they could have left it a little bit longer for me, but this is all they could get out of it. This came from a farm nearby. They were clearing the edge of a field to be able to farm more. And this was a line fence tree, which some of you may know what that means. It's got a little metal in it. I know that because of this blue-black stain. There's actually, you can't really tell because of the hinge here, but there's 2 of them. So what that means, oak and walnut are 2 woods that react with iron. So if you put ferrous metal in there like steel, it will cause a chemical reaction. You'll get this stain and you'll be able to see it on the ends of the logs. That means possibly it was below this log because they had to cut this about 1.5 feet off the ground. So it's possible it's below it, but the way my luck runs is very likely it's in this log. So that's kind of not so great because obviously I don't want to ruin a bunch of blades on this. But I have a plan, and it's kind of a plan that's halfway in formation, but I have an idea how I'm going to saw this thing, which is not going to be today. This is too big to go in the mill. I shouldn't say that. I've sawed a red oak that was 42 inches once, and I did manage to do it on the Woodmizer, and I probably could do this one. The way I want to saw this, it's too big to go in the mill. So I gotta wait a couple days here. I got a new toy coming in. Did I say toy? I meant business expense. So once that business expense gets here, we'll jump onto this thing and we'll see if we can make some nice lumber out of it. Or we'll see if we can spend a lot of money trying. Either way, should make an interesting video. Yeah, so that couple days turned into a couple weeks. I just got tied up with other projects and couldn't get back to this big log. But today's the day, I'm ready to roll. I got my tax write-off on the floor here, all set up, ready to go. Yeah, some of you know what this is. Finally broke down and bought myself a chainsaw mill. Had the saw, that's a big Husky 385 XP with a 36-inch bar. So I had that stuff, but I've never in my life owned a chainsaw mill. I'm gonna be completely honest. I always kind of thought they were a joke. I never really wanted to own a chainsaw mill, but this project, I was looking at it and thought, well, it probably is the right tool for this job. So I went ahead and bought one. We'll see. We'll see if I ever use it again. We'll see how this goes. Hopefully it works out. I have zero experience. I'm sure some of you guys out there have way more experience with a chainsaw mill than me. I've never run one. I'm kind of figuring this out as I go. So, you know, usually when I have a video here and I'm showing you stuff, I have done it before and I can kind of speak from experience. I'm going to tell you from this point forward, don't listen to what I say because I'm spitballing here. But I got the saw set up. I had to take my dogs off there to gain 2 more inches. So there's a 36-inch bar. I got 30 inches of cut here in between the rails. This ladder looking thing here goes on top of the log and these dogs spike in. And that's what you use to make your first cut. And then from there, the mill frame just sits on the flat surface. So that's the equipment. Let's go outside, look at the log, and I kind of have a plan in my head. It's pretty windy out there, so I'm going to do my best to get you a decent video. So right off the bat, I see I have to adjust these things so they fit right. But this thing's been sitting here about 4 weeks, and what I've seen is it's developed some shake. I mean, it was there the whole time. It's not necessarily from sitting, it just has exposed itself. So it's separating here amongst the growth rings. That's not so great, but it's not uncommon with these big old logs. So I'm gonna have to do my best to work around that. And don't forget there's metal here. So I'm gonna have to work around that. Basically what my goal is here, you can see I kind of took a lumber cran because I was looking at this for quite a while trying to figure this out. I am going to try to just knock this down on both sides to a size I can work with it on the Woodmizer, because ultimately I don't want to be messing around making more cuts with the chainsaw than I have to. So I can only cut so wide and I can only cut so much in one pass. So I'm going to just start by getting this leveled and getting this chainsaw mill set up, and I'm just going to see how it works, and I'm just going to start whittling away at this. Ultimately, my goal with the log is to try to get quarter sawn lumber out of it. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to compromise just because I can't saw this like I would a normal log, and obviously I'm going to try to avoid that metal. So there's a lot of moving parts here to try to make this work out. I'm just going to dive into it and we'll see how it progresses. So you experts at chainsaw milling are probably laughing at me or yelling at your screen already, but you know me if you've been watching the channel. I just kind of wing things and figure it out as I go. So I took some blocks of wood here and screwed them to the log and braced this up. And I know this thing looks like it's taken off into space, but my ultimate goal, what I'm trying to do here, is get my first cut centered with the pith of the log so I make a parallel cut to the center. And this log looks relatively straight, but it does taper. So that's why I had to jack this end way up so I make a straight level first cut. And this is just my way of doing it. Well, we're getting in deep now. I brought the mill out, set it up there, started adjusting it, just to realize that where that first cut has to go, it's way too wide. It's like 38 inches. So that 30-inch cut ain't gonna do it. Pulled the chainsaw back off the mill. I'm gonna have to freehand whittle this a little bit to try to get it down that I can make that first pass. Well, there she is. You can see what it's starting to look like. You can see that shake there. That's not so hot. There's two things I wanted to mention. Number one, when I started freehanding there, I should have had chaps on. I should be a better influence for you guys, so I went and threw some chaps on. When you're dealing with a giant saw like that, it's always smart to have some chaps. The second thing, I gotta confirm what I've thought for a long time. You chainsaw mill guys are absolutely crazy. I don't know how guys build whole buildings with these things. That is just a brutal, brutal job. You're standing there right at the saw head, the exhaust, all the sawdust is coming right back in your face. It is hard on the saw, extremely hard on the saw. I was afraid it wasn't lubricating the bar enough, so I kept stopping to dump oil on, and it just, I wouldn't want to do that with my chainsaw every day. I'm afraid you'd burn it up in short order. So, got the slab off there. And as I was spending entirely way too long, I didn't even want to film the whole thing because, well, you guys would be bored to death. Had to keep stopping and let the saw cool, oil it, all that stuff. Work out some bugs. I had to whittle a little bit more. It was a whole production. I have spent way, way too long on this so far. I don't want to go bankrupt sawing this log. So as I felt like I was spending an eternity pushing that saw through there, contemplating some of the dumber ideas I make in my life, I decided I'm going to switch course on this. I got about 10 inches off of here, and I think now at this point I can throw it on the sawmill and whittle at it a little bit and get it down to a usable size. Particularly with what I'm seeing here, I don't want to spend a ton of time if this wood's not going to saw out real nice. So that's going to be another video because I don't want this one to go too long, and quite honestly, I got other business I got to take care of today. I can't do it today. So this is going to drag on, this never-ending project, a little bit longer, and we're just going to see if we get some nice wood out of it, or if we just got a lesson in what not to do. For you guys that are into the chainsaw mills, there you go. That's my take on it. You may never see it on this channel again. In fact, if anybody wants a deal on a chainsaw mill, I may just sell the thing. But now I can say I at least tried it. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you next week.